Hey, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. And on this channel, we talk about crowdfunding, get to the heart of how to raise money successfully on GoFundMe, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and how to launch your project into the world. So there's a lot of hoopla and a lot of craziness going around when it comes to COVID-19 and the coronavirus this year. And I think a lot of people are wondering, should they actually engage in crowdfunding? Should they put off their Kickstarter campaign or their Indiegogo campaign? I kind of want to address that a little bit in today's video. I think that this time is, first of all, it's horrible, just the things that are happening. I hope that your family and your loved ones are safe. I hope that you are healthy and you're maintaining your health. That's, I think, goes without saying that I really wish that from the bottom of my heart. But that being said, I kind of want to put my focus a little bit more on the business side of things and ways you can use this opportunity to your advantage. So first of all, if you're quarantined and there's not very much to do, I find that a byproduct of being really bored is that you have a lot of time on your hands to work on new projects in your life. In that way, I think that this is kind of like a blessing in disguise where while you might have been trying to scramble to get all the assets together for a campaign, you can now launch a campaign the right way by taking this time to prepare, to be aware of the things that you got to do in order to be successful, to maybe hone your video, to look at other projects, and to do a little bit more due diligence than you would normally do before you were about to launch your crowdfunding campaign. So the first way that I would spend this time is just learning and educating yourself. A lot of great things out there. I have a book, The Kickstarter Launch Formula, got the podcast, the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast, lots of YouTube videos out there for you, as well as if you want to have more one-on-one contact with me, I do have individual coaching calls that you can look into. But it doesn't even have to be from me necessarily, just browsing Kickstarter and Indiegogo itself, getting a feel for these projects, supporting some of them, seeing how they're dealing with this crisis. That's going to give you a lot of information when it comes to how to launch one of these campaigns successfully. The next thing I think that you need to determine is, has this impacted your specific category and the type of business that you're trying to build? And the easiest way to do that is just to jump into the marketplace, to start a Facebook page, to start your website, start sending traffic there, doing Facebook ads, etc., and get a feel for, are people kind of hesitant? They're not interested in, they have no interest, they're not interested in supporting it, they're not giving you an email address if you're putting together like a landing page, that kind of stuff. Or do people not really care? They are responding to your ads, they're responding to your social media posts. You don't find that the current climate is affecting your business in any way. I would say that's probably the next major thing to go through, as well as paying attention to obviously the campaigns that are launching on these different platforms and how they're doing. But as it relates to you, personally, I believe that 2020 is the best year that I have ever seen to launch a new product. And the reason why I say that is that when I was getting started, there was a lot of opportunity in the way of, this is a cool new thing, this is amazing, you can launch a new project in the marketplace, right? And we were seeing the likes of Oculus Rift and Pebble Watch and lots of cool campaigns and projects that I look back on and I smile, because it was so innovative the way that crowdfunding was entering the scene. Nowadays, we have it down to a science. There is literally a step-by-step process for you to launch a campaign, to garner a crowd, see success, blow past your funding goal, and to make it so that not only do you hit your funding goal, but you also wildly exceed it, and you really realize, I think, that vision for you as an entrepreneur. Using this crowdfunding thing as a launching off point so that you can then build a company, you can get awareness, you can build up an audience, you can have a bunch of customers, and those people can give you real world feedback on your prototype. You can have the seed funding in order to mass produce this product. It's really I like to think of it as a crash course in business, because you're figuring out marketing, you're learning how to hire people onto your team, you're learning how to storytell, put together video, do fulfillment, do manufacturing, going through iterations of the prototype to get up to something that you can actually put out there publicly. It's really a crash course in business, right? And one of the difficulties that I always had in life when it came to my projects was following through on them. I vividly remember trying to write books and trying to work on websites, and like, I was stuck with them for a week or 2 weeks, and then I would just kind of abandon them because I didn't have the right motivation. It didn't have enough of my curiosity. I wasn't interested in the thing enough. But when it comes to crowdfunding, it kind of has a built-in mechanism where as you're putting together this project and you have a launch date and you have a funding duration, when you start to put these deadlines on the project, it becomes a little bit more real. If you have a launch date and you're like, oh man, I gotta get this video underway, I gotta put the page together, you create a little bit of anticipation in yourself and urgency, and it starts to become a little bit more exciting as you get closer there and you start to see the page being built out, and then you think about the possibilities, right? And with the funding duration, people also having a limited amount of time where they can become a backer for the project, it's really a yes or a no decision at the end of the day. And you can have that vote of confidence or that important feedback that you should go back to the drawing board, or what you're doing, you are on the right track. You've discovered a gold mine, a golden opportunity. Whereas before, as an entrepreneur, you might be thinking about this idea, you might be getting some basic feedback, and then like 3 years down the line, you find out it was a bad idea, right? That's like the worst thing ever, is just to waste all of that time because you're spent in your head dreaming about possibility. The amazing thing about crowdfunding, Kickstarter, and Indiegogo is that you can get real world feedback in terms of, will people take out their wallet and their credit card? Will they buy this product, pre-order it, and support you? Is this something that you should be spending more time on? Or should you go on to your next entrepreneurial idea? For those of you that are kind of newer to this, I think that the faster you fail, there's a saying, particularly among like coders and programmers and tech startup, the faster you fail, the better, because the faster you learn. Maybe that project that you launch or that you were thinking of launching doesn't go so well, but then your next one hits. So many examples on the podcast of people who their first crowdfunding campaign didn't go so well, but then they hit it big with their second one or their third one. So you can learn from each activity, and it's not learning in your head or getting, high on your own supply and just thinking about how things are going to be amazing. You're actually dealing with real world visitors, real world customers who are giving you that direct feedback that you can then go and you can take that and you can improve, right? And you can go and maybe launch another product, or you can go back to the drawing board, or you can just make a few tweaks in the campaign and then it's perfectly right to be announced on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. So I think that this time is so powerful and so much opportunity because of that we've discovered and unpacked what goes into a successful campaign. There are so many tools and resources now available to you to make this dead simple. There are people like me out there that are willing to help you and hold your hand every step of the way. And I mean, like, what more could you be waiting for? What more could you be asking for, right? Like, you have everything at your disposal to try this out. The worst thing is to go through life and to be filled with regret and wishing that you had launched a product, wishing you had started a business, wishing you had done things, right? And as you get to the end of life, I think you can either have lots and lots of regrets that are stacked up, or you can have a bunch of stories of crazy things you tried out and that didn't work, or things you did try out and they worked really well. At the end of the life, you can either have a bunch of stories or you can have a bunch of reasons why the cards were stacked against you and all of these regrets that mounted up. And just, I think it's a sour feeling, So I hope that I can help you in this journey. I think you should 100% plow forward. This is not the time to take your foot off the gas. If anything, it's the best time to double down, honestly. So I'm gonna include a few links below that can hopefully get you started, but also go and check out some of the other videos I got in this channel to help you launch one of these campaigns. I hope that you like them. My name is Salvador Briggman. Give me a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.